Hello everybody, I'm Ralli Roots. Welcome to another one of our YouTube videos. In today's video, I'm going to break down 24 items that we sold recently on eBay. I'll tell you how much the items sold for, but more than that, there's a lot of videos like this on YouTube now, a lot of people showing you what their items sold for on eBay. One thing that isn't really discussed that often is when the items were listed and when they sold. So how long it took for the items to sell. Selling the item is one thing, but it's also important to know how long it takes for an item to sell so that you know that you're buying the correct items. So in today's video, I'm not only going to tell you how much the item sold for, but I'm also going to tell you when we listed them and when they sold, so you can see how long it took for them to sell. But before I get into it, I just wanted to address something really quick. We have, I think, over 50 of these type of videos now on YouTube, where we show our actual eBay sales. We show how much something sold for, and we show the items that we sold on eBay. Almost every time that I post one of these videos, we'll get one or two people commenting saying that our sales are fake, or we're making up these sales to make videos for YouTube. I've addressed it in past videos, but I wanted to say it again in this video. Our sales are 100% real. It's actually quite easy to vet an eBay seller's account. The public eBay account that we share on YouTube is called The Hip Lion. And if you go to that store on eBay, you can see that it's an active store. You can see that we get feedback every single month. You can see that we have a 100% positive feedback rating. And you can see that we are top rated sellers. Now, the main reason why we get that comment, which is understandable, is sometimes when people don't know how to research sales on eBay, if you search on eBay's public site and you sort by sold items, a lot of the time our items will not show up. And the reason why is because on our account, we use what's called the out of stock option. Now, when that option is turned on, what happens is even if you have a quantity of one of an item, when that item sells, the quantity drops from 1 to 0, and the item still remains active. It doesn't actually go into the public sold comps on eBay. And then every so often, we have to go into our eBay store and end those items that have moved from a quantity of 1 to 0. When we end the items, they still do not go into that public sold field, but that doesn't mean that they didn't actually sell. They did sell. And the main reason why we even have that option turned on is because on our eBay stores, we get a lot of the same products over and over again. For example, here's an espresso machine that we tend to get over and over again. So we'll buy 100 of them, sell 100, and then we'll buy 100 more. And we've done that over and over again. So as you can see on the active listing, we've sold 52 of them, but we still have some left. Now, what that out of stock option does is once it gets to 0, that listing still remains active and the watchers on that item still remain with the listing. Whereas if it just ended, we would lose those watchers. And on that listing, we have 81 people watching it. So what happens is, let's say it goes to a quantity of 0, and then let's say we buy another 100 and we restock that same listing. Those 81 watchers will get a notification saying that the item has been restocked and we'll sell more. So that's why we have that option turned on. Unfortunately, when you switch that option on, the items that are unique, so only one of them, not 100 or 50 or whatever, so only one of them, even those items still, like I said, when they sell, they drop to a quantity of 0 and they don't go into sold comps. But again, going back to it, it's very easy to go to eBay and research the accounts. So don't think that an eBay seller is lying about their sales. We have zero reason to make these YouTube videos to lie to you. We have a warehouse full of inventory. We have employees that we have to pay. There is no reason for us to make up fake sales just to make YouTube videos. The other thing you can do is if you have a basic eBay store or better, you can go on Terapeak and you can look up these sales that we're telling you, and there you can see that they have actually sold as well. So there's many ways to do your research to know that these are genuine sales. So anyway, sorry that took so long. I just wanted to address that before jumping into this video because I don't really want it coming up again. Now, with that being said, let's jump into this video. 24 items that we recently sold on eBay. And again, I'll tell you when we listed them and when they sold. Item number 1 is a Nintendo Wii bundle console with some other extras as well. That item sold for $129.97 with free shipping. It was listed on November 19th and it sold on November 20th. The next item up is 2 boxes of app lights. These are like Christmas tree lights that you can control with your phone. The 2 boxes sold for $95.94 and they were listed on November 19th and they sold same day, November 19th. Next up is a pair of boots. They are Sorel brand and the model is called Joan of Arctic. This item actually sold in the past and it was returned and then we sold it again. They sold for $155 plus $10 shipping. The item was listed on October 8th and it sold on November 19th. The next item up is a t-shirt. The brand is Crazy Shirts. And this t-shirt sold for $29.97. It was listed on November 18th and it sold a day later on November 19th. Great sell-through on a t-shirt. Typically clothing takes a bit longer to sell, so it's cool when an item sells that fast. Next up is a Callaway Golf Big Bertha hat. This one was brand new with the tags and it sold for $49.99. Now this item took a while to sell. It took 10 months for us to find the right buyer on this item. It was listed on February 11th and it sold on November 18th. The important thing with items that take this long to sell is that you don't want to be into them for too much money. So obviously we wouldn't want like $25 tied up in this item. We would only want a few dollars tied up because again, it's gonna take a while to find the right buyer. Next up is a pair of Adidas Solar Drive shoes. They sold for $129.97 plus an additional $4.50 for shipping. Those shoes were listed on September 27th and they sold on November 18th. Another pair of shoes, the brand is Skechers and the model is Shape Ups. And they sold for $60 with free shipping. Listed on November 7th and sold 10 days later on November 17th. Another hat here, this is a Kentucky Derby hat and it sold for $27. This one took way too long to sell. It was listed on, get this, December 16th, 2018. And it sold on November 16th, 2019. So this was probably not a good buy. Obviously we weren't into it for too much money, but typically we don't like items sitting around for that amount of time, especially if they're not a higher priced item. So for $27, that's just an item that's kind of taking up space. Next up is a Campus CPO wool flannel. This shirt sold for $32 with free shipping, and it was listed on November 7th and it sold on November 16th. Another wool item, this is a J. Jill jacket. We found this one fairly recently, I believe, at a thrift store, and it sold for $66.72. Listed on November 13th and sold on November 16th. So it only took 3 days for that jacket to sell. A vintage Timex watch sold for us for $44.47 with free shipping. Listed on November 10th and sold on November 16th. So less than a week to sell that vintage watch. Pretty good. Another vintage t-shirt here. This one was, I believe, 1993 Caribbean Soul. It had a Jimmy Buffett song on the back of it, and it sold for $29.97 with free shipping. That item was listed on October 8th and it sold on November 15th. Another t-shirt, great sale on this one. It is a Joker t-shirt. It sold for $47.50 with free shipping. And this one sold very fast. It was listed on November 13th and it sold on November 15th. The next item up is a Chase Authentics Mark Martin all over print NASCAR t-shirt. This one sold for $40 even with free shipping, and it was listed on November 3rd and it sold on November 15th. Next up is a pair of, I think it's Vivo barefoot shoes. They are barefoot running shoes, and they sold for $44.97 with free shipping. Listed on November 8th and sold on November 14th. We love selling video games and we love selling video game systems. This was an N64 bundle, controller and some games. It sold for $109.97 plus an additional $9.50 for shipping. This item was listed on September 24th and then it sold on November 14th. The next item up is a hardcore ski brand, or Hardcorps, not sure how you pronounce the name, but this was a full-on snow ski suit vintage, and it sold for $114.30 plus shipping. We charged an additional $12 to ship this item out. And this one was listed in the summer. It was listed on May 16th and then it ended up selling on November 13th. Another vintage 90s ski item. This one's brand was called Nevica, and really cool item. Some nice color blocking going on this jacket. It sold for quite a bit. It sold for $74.98, and it was listed on September 26th, and it sold on November 12th. Great sale on this pair of Justin boots. They were brand new with the tags, and they sold for $119.25 plus additional shipping. Again, we charged $12 to ship these boots out. They were listed on March 25th and they sold on November 12th. So a bit of a longer tail item on those boots, but new old stock boots like that do sometimes take a particular buyer, so we don't mind waiting a bit longer. When we buy items that may take longer to sell, we're really looking for those higher priced items. So like I said, this one sold for over $100, which is great for us. This is a cool item. It is a Disney Timeworks Animal Kingdom watch. It was brand new in the box and it sold for $70 even with free shipping. This is another one that took a bit longer to sell. It took about 7 months for us to find the right buyer. It was listed on April 4th and it sold on November 11th. But again, a higher priced item and a very small item, so it doesn't take up much space in our warehouse. This is a great brand to look out for if you sell denim. The brand is called Rock Revival, and this pair of jeans sold for us for $79.97 with free shipping. They were listed on October 18th and they sold for us on November 11th. A vintage Orvis jacket. I believe we picked this up at a thrift store for I want to say $5. And we took a best offer on this one for $60 plus an additional $10 shipping. And this one took exactly a month to sell. So it was listed on October 9th and it sold on November 9th. We love selling sneakers if they are the right sneakers, and we like to sell Jordans, again, if we can find the right ones. This was a pair of Jordan 11 Space Jam Retros, size 8, and they sold for quite a bit of money. They sold for $127.97 plus shipping. Shipping was cheap, $4.50, but still over $130 for this pair of used shoes. And they did sell quite quick. They were listed on September 28th and they sold on November 8th. And finally, item number 24, this is a Polo Ralph Lauren Polo Bear long sleeve shirt. It was a larger size, a size 3XLT, and again, this was a used item. It sold for $44 with free shipping. Listed on October 24th and sold on November 8th. And there you go, guys. 24 items that we sold recently on eBay. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Please, if you like videos like this, let us know by hitting the thumbs up button on this video and leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. If you have any questions about anything that we can help with, please leave it as a comment. We read every single comment that comes in on YouTube and we try our best to answer them, or at least heart them if it isn't a question. So thank you guys for watching. Again, my name is Ralli Roots and I appreciate you being here and watching our videos. Until the next time, peace out guys. See ya.